a wonderful English time. Let's go.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
With technical issues, but I am okay.
Okay, teacher. It's
Mhm.
normal.
All right.
It's happened.
Always. I always have some technical issues at first. I have yep. I want to practice using I want to practice with using a review, okay? Because I was checking your exams and we really need to practice. We really need to review some stuff. Uh, Karen, did you check your exam?
Yes, teacher. I'll check my exam and we have it in my email. And I
Perfect.
need to make the examples with the wrong sentences for the next practice.
Yes, totally correct. It's necessary to start understanding
The wrong. Yes.
the wrongs and the rights exactly, because we
Yeah.
need to improve our speech. And and in the class, I noticed that we are understanding information, but we are not asking questions. And I think that's the most important part. The same thing with some of your partners. In the case of Val, for example, did you check your exam?
Yes, teacher. I check my exam.
And what is your opinion on your exam?
It's bad because um, how do you say, me di cuenta?
I realized.
I realized that it's confused some things.
Yeah, correct. Confusing, ing.
Yes, confusing.
Precisely that's the reason I want to check. I want to review some things with you because I think we are not understanding the formulas and the applications. Especially when we're talking about formulas and auxiliaries and all this information. You know, all this information. So I want to practice a little bit in Spanish so we can contrast Spanish and English. Okay, that's going to be the mission. So let's talk about that. In the case of Vianney, for example, what did you realize on your test?
Um, I really surprised because the listening um, I uh, in this exam I have more aciertos
More correct.
more corrects than last exam.
Okay.
It's a surprise for me.
Which is nice. Yes, of course. If you have a better score, then that's super nice for you.
Yes, but I'm confused. The formulas, the structure, maybe or grammar.
Correct. When it's
I
necessary to use auxiliaries, the verb, and the difference between the verb be and do and does. We confuse them a lot. But I mean, we have positive and negative parts. No, the positive part is that you have a higher score. No?
yes.
The negative issue is that we need to continue practicing the what's
Grammar
yeah,
structure.
correct structures. The construction of a sentence, etc.
Yes, the activity more difficult for me is when the words revueltos
Okay, revueltos, scramble.
scramble.
Yes, yes.
This part is very difficult for me.
Mhm. Yes, and well, that's not that's normal, eh? That's very normal. The scrambled words represent a construction of language. And we need to understand that in English, it's necessary to collocate words corresponding what? Person, verb complement, auxiliary did, the position of the verb be, ing. So yes, that exercise is very normal that is difficult. So no problem. This is what we are going to practice today. Today we are going to make a general review, a general review and checkup of these topics. Okay, why these auxiliaries are important? What is the difference between verb to be versus do and does? Okay, because we need to check that part. Very important. What are your comments? For example, Jessie, your comments on the exam. What do you think?
I think that, well, I checked it
Mhm.
and I think that I get confused about the structures and the times. I think that is my
Okay.
problem is with my problem is to identify the time or what structure works with that. I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay.
I think.
Yes, precisely. You are confusing the verb be with auxiliary do and does, will and ing. This is a very normal part that we need to make a specific division. So yeah, I agree. Not only you are not alone. A lot of the mistakes and the problems are similar for the rest, for your partners. Like everybody have a very similar set of mistakes that we need to practice. So
Yes.
this is what we are going to do today. Today we are going to go directly to a general review on the last 3 months that we have been practicing, including questions, affirmations, negatives, the relation with this and the time expressions, and how to select the correct auxiliary. I think that's the most important part. How to select the correct auxiliary, because we are confusing the verb to be with the verb does, the verb do, and we forget the applications. Okay. That's it. That's gonna be the first part. The second part is the existence. You know, technically, these are the topics that you need to master. Topics. We need to master how to select the corresponding auxiliary and match the time expression with it. That's part one. Okay. Part two, existence. We are not identifying what is the correct form when you say there is, there are, there was, there were, and quantifiers, and corresponding quantifiers. We are completely having a lot of problems with some, many, any, much, many, you know, all these expressions that we are not understanding very well. I want you to make questions. The other thing that we have practiced is oh yeah, prepositions of place. Because I saw that many of you have problems identifying the difference between under, above, in, on, at, in front of, etc. Actually, prepositions, place, and time. Those are the two that we have been practicing. And finally, last but not least, talking about pronunciation of verbs in past, which is going to be for the next evaluation. This is, in general, this is the topic. So let me give you a collection of topics to talk about this. The first section that we checked was the verb be. This is prepositions, place and time. Do you see? Ah, no, you don't see. Descriptions and locations we have. Oops. Oh, Jesus Christ. 65. I am collecting all the information, okay? This is talking about past. Then we have here is the verb be. Verb be, structures and locations. Prepositions of time. Then we have the different presents that exist in English. Then we have future. We have talked about future. Super important. You are confusing will versus ing, which is very important to have in mind. Then after all this, after future and present, etc., we practiced will. And after will, we practiced existence. Here are the quantifiers. Existence in present. And existence in past. And prepositions. Here it is 404. Okay. All the information that you see in front of you are the topics that we need to remember. Okay? And as you can see, there are colors. We have colors in common, no? What color represent, or what color is the one that we use? Color green represent what family? Who remembers?
It's for verbs.
Excellent. So color green represent verbs. Okay. Color orange represent
Complement? No?
complement. Incorrect. Complement is not a word family. These colors are only for word families.
Auxiliaries.
Auxiliaries, incorrect. Auxiliaries goes directly to verbs. Auxiliaries are in the family of verbs.
Verb to be? No?
Verb to be is a verb.
Yes.
Color green. Exactly. So what is in orange? You say, I am wonderful, for example. The expression wonderful is a
Description.
description. Exactly. I am wonderful. Wonderful is a description. You see?
Yes, teacher.
Descriptions. Okay. Yellow. What word do we represent with color yellow? Here is the problem. I can see that you are not identifying this section. Color yellow is for connectors. And what are connectors? In other words, they are prepositions. That's the reason these two are yellow. Yellow and yellow. Okay. And finally, purple. What do we represent with color purple?
Auxiliary.
Auxiliaries are verbs. We have said that before. Attention. Auxiliaries are included in the family of verbs. Purples are
Time expressions.
excellent. Time expressions. all the different information that we have here represent the time expressions. Here you have it. Look at this. We have always, often, sometimes, seldom, never, etc. All these expressions represent routines. Well, time expressions. If you understand these families and the difference, you will understand the position of words in English. I will collocate this information here. These are present, INGs, then we have this, and then we have this. Teacher is so teeny tiny. Yes, in a moment I make it bigger, okay? So here we have expressions, time expressions corresponding to auxiliaries, etc. This list corresponds to verbs. Let's put it in color green. That can help. Because in general, we are talking about, well, no, let's collocate it like this. In a moment, we're going to check colors. Existence was, we studied existence using the expression there. The expression there is not in any color. The expression there is only an expression. It's not an auxiliary, it's not a verb, it's not a description, it's not a connector, etc. It's just an expression. There is and there are expressions. And finally, we have prepositions of place, which is words like above, between, in, on, at, etc. So this is the mission. If you talk about complements and auxiliaries, etc., this is a different logic. In these groups, you have auxiliaries, complements, and the rest. This is the principal, these are the principal groups that we are going to practice. Oh, the last one. Blue. I almost forgot the blue. What do we study in color blue?
Person.
Close. You are very close, but it's not person. Anyone?
Subject, no.
Subject and person are the same. We have countables and uncountables. What are those? Countables and uncountables. What are we talking about?
Uncountable.
No, I mean this mysterious word exists in countables and uncountables.
Okay.
You know, there are two categories, but countable and uncountable, what? What are these? Come on, guys. Remember. What are these? Countable and uncountable nouns, people. A noun is a thing. Names. And we saw this when we were talking about existence. Let's make memory. Color blue. Countables and uncountables. Examples of countable nouns: bottles, boxes, cartons, liters, gallons, kilos, etc. Uncountable nouns: bread, cereal, milk, oil, rice, broccoli, etc. You see? Here we have. For verbs, we have it in color green. Okay. So we have the verb be, is, are, was, were, have been, has been, and have been. We have here, when we're talking about present, here you have auxiliary do is color green and verb is color green. So they are in the same family. You see? Here does also, let me check this is 205. Here the auxiliary is supposed to be green, color green. Over here. Right? Do you understand the verbs? No?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Okay. So if I tell you what is an auxiliary, well, an auxiliary is in the group of the verbs. In a moment, I tell you what is an auxiliary specifically. Okay, but an auxiliary is color green. The next, descriptions. A description is always describing a noun. It has a relation. The color orange and the color blue have a constant relation because you can say, is there any milk? Are there any potatoes? For example. In this case, we have some color differences. 400. 400. And 5, this is supposed to be color green, 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 and green. For your memorization. Okay. Connectors. Connectors are used to talk about, to connect different things. In my house, on the street, at my job, etc. Right? These words are connectors. We use them to connect. Similarly, with these prepositions, in, on, at, around, across, in front of, inside, outside. In the exam, there was a picture that was necessary to say, where is Andrea? Andrea is in front of Juan. Where is the cat? The cat is under the table. You know? These are connectors of location.
Yes, teacher.
Mhm. And finally, time expressions. These time expressions help you understand the time. If you need to speak in present, you know it because of the time expression. The auxiliary, do, does, is, are, am, was, were, and will, and have, and has, all the auxiliaries need to match the time expression and the verb. That's the reason there is a connection. There is a connection between the auxiliary, the verb, and the time expression. If your auxiliary is incorrect, I don't understand context. I don't understand situations. And technically here, we are giving all the information in one slide. Now, this is the general view. Let's practice, okay? Number 1, how to select the corresponding auxiliary and match the time expression with it. The correct auxiliary, which is auxiliaries we have seen so far? In this moment, we have seen do, does, is, are, was, were, have. Well, not have, not yet. Is, are, was, were, and will. Auxiliaries need to correspond what? Anyone? Auxiliaries need to correspond?
Or question?
Incorrect. I said it again. Pay attention one more time. Auxiliaries need to correspond?
Time expression?
Good. Excellent. Auxiliaries must correspond the time expression and the, let's go like this. The something and the time expression. What is missing here?
Person.
The person and the time expression. Well, probably, because if it's he, she, it, for example, yes, it's necessary. But there is something more important. Auxiliary has a specific connection with color green.
It's the verb. And the-
Exactly. Mhm. That's correct. This information is here. You know?
Yes, teacher.
Auxiliaries must correspond the verb and the time expression. If you don't have a corresponding verb and the time expression, the sentence is incorrect. For this, we have formulas. Specifically for this situation, we have formulas. For example, if you have the verb I space going to the gym tonight. And the options are do, does, is, are, am, will. Also where. Which one goes over here? How do you know which one goes over here? This is when you consult your information. If the expression tonight is talking about future, right? This is a plan, actually, future plan. And the verb going is ing. You need to correspond the ing word with the future time. They need to match together. Here is when you open your structures handbook or check the summaries of previous classes and you consult. Let's see. Context 2, routines. Do and verb. No, there's no match. Here, oh, we have an ing. ing. And we have tonight. Okay. So we have double match. What is necessary?
Verb to be.
verb be. We go to the example and we have all the verb be is all of this. Is, are, am, was. Which is, are, am, was, were correspond to I? As Vianney said, they need to correspond the person. Which one is it?
I am.
Exactly. Exactly. So this is all the validation that we need. 1, validation on the structure. 2, validation on the context. And 3, validation on the person. Questions?
No, teacher.
No.
Sure. Let's practice. If you say, let's go to the answers. I'm checking the answers. Complete the sentence. Vianney.
Um, um, we are not staying
You
at
are
home.
correct. Exactly. We are not. Exactly. How do you know is we are? Oh, we are not staying complete. You're right. How do you know is we are not staying?
For the negative,
For the negative, well, but what about don't? Don't is negative.
Because is the plant
for plans future,
Exactly. Transition. Future.
future,
Cha 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 cha. Cha 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 charming. Sure. Future.
sure, sure. Okay.
This is a future plan. Right? And you can use the same structure that you have here. It's the same. It's be plus ing. The same structure goes here. It's the same. There is another possible answer. In this case, Karen, you had another option. What's correct here?
We don't.
We don't.
Plan.
Okay, let's check don't. Don't is actually incorrect. And let's check why. The expression don't is used to talk about
Routines.
correct. In the routine context, we never use tonight. You see?
Yes. Yes,
There-
teacher.
We can never use don't. Don't is negative. but that
Yeah.
is never correct. Therefore, what is the other option for tonight? What if
Night.
you are making a prediction?
At night?
Again, what if you are making a prediction? What if you are making a promise for tonight?
Promise. Will?
Express promises. Exactly.
Will?
So the only option that you have here is ing. No, sorry. Here. You have ing for premeditated plans or will. Those are the only two options that you have. You can never use don't. You can never use doesn't, for example.
And the negative for will is will not,
That
but
is
no.
it.
Yes. Will
What-
not.
Interaction for will not.
Will.
What happened in your exam? You had a different answer.
I don't know. I don't remember. I will check it, but I don't.
Remember? Come on. That was your exam.
My exam.
Yes.
Will. We
Guys, what is the contraction for will not?
will not. I don't know. Will? No.
Jesse, do you remember?
No.
No.
What?
Want?
Yes, exactly. The word here is won't.
We won't stay at home tonight.
Exactly. Stay simple form. And the two are correct. This one is incorrect. In this case, we are not staying, the person, the context, and the time expression matches. We won't stay tonight, the person, the context, and the time expression matches. We don't stay tonight, don't matches with the person, but tonight doesn't match. Tonight is a future plan, or future promise, or future prediction. Not a routine. Do you see the relation or you don't see the relation?
Yes, teacher.
Sure.
Yeah.
Teacher,
Promise,
I have a question.
Question? Yes, Melly. Yes, of course. What's up?
When I have plans in the future, maybe travel.
Travel. Aha, aha.
I need use this structure.
Exactly.
Yes, not will, because I'm really confused. Will and ing.
Exactly. Yes, that's very normal. That's very normal. The first part is, of course, confusing. Are not. We don't. This is the first part, no? I am super worried if you have a confusion with are versus don't. But if you confuse will versus ing, now we are talking about interesting differences. This is a cultural difference. Man. If you have a plan, an American person say ing.
Okay.
An American person use will for a different activity, for a different what's the name? Different context.
Okay.
That's precisely very interesting about English cultural differences.
Okay. when I need use will or in the future, but prediction only or not plans,
Here it is.
only
Good.
prediction?
Predictions, promises, and spontaneous decisions.
Okay.
In the exam, one person said a very interesting. I am very exhausted. I will go to sleep. Expression,
No.
I will go to sleep. No, it's correct. It's correct because
Yes.
it's a spontaneous decision.
Okay.
Like I take a decision in this moment. You know what? Bye-bye. I will go to sleep. Good night.
No is routines.
Exactly. A routine is like I go to sleep every day at 2 o'clock.
Okay. But in this example, no, just every day or every night or no,
Or
it's
every day and every night. It's eliminate will.
yes.
With tonight at 6 o'clock in this moment, you know, you use ing or will depending on your context. Have spontaneous decisions, promises, predictions, and plans.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Hashtag English.
Yes.
Yep. This is the interesting part. The difference between will and ing, because the two are for the future, but there is a slight difference. The difference is the context.
Yes.
There you go. That's the reason I insist a lot in contexts. Oh, yes. And this is the easy ones, eh? In the next classes, it gets more and more complicated. That's why it's necessary to review this in this moment. More questions? What about Val? What do you think about this?
I think now I understand.
Yes?
Yeah, little bit.
No problem. We can continue practicing
Yes,
because this is very important.
yes, and it's little
Confusing, ing.
confusing. Yes,
Yep, it is. That's the reason I insist in this topic because it's not. If you're thinking in Spanish is no. So all of them is no voy a quedarme en casa esta noche. Pero el segundo es no voy a quedarme en casa esta noche. Chale, entonces, ¿cuál es la diferencia? Ah, si recurres al español como tu fuente de solución, no vas a entender la diferencia. So you need to think in English. Will sounds very different to ing. And now you can check a difference. That's thinking in English, not considering Spanish for this. You got it?
yes, teacher.
Take a note. And we are going to check this tomorrow. In this moment, we are done.
Yes,
Got it?
thank you.
Awesome. Have a wonderful night. We continue tomorrow with the review. Night.
Yes, please.
Yes, teacher, please. See you later.
Yes, thank you,
Bye, guys.
teacher.
You too. Thank you
Bye,
very much.
teacher.
Bye. Good night.
Good night. See you later.